All right, believe it or not, More Health is celebrating 30 years of teaching Bay Area students health and safety education. In fact, they are also celebrating teaching their 4 millionth student this year. And this morning, we are going to focus on one of those lessons that is still so needed in our community. And this is firearm safety and violence prevention. And More Health is able to do this thanks to their wonderful partnerships, including ones with local law enforcement. And joining me today to tell us more is Karen Buckenheimer from More Health. We have Corporal Mackenzie Bonifant from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and Officer Gig Brown from the Tampa Police Department as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations again. I know this is a big deal for you guys to be celebrating this many students, 4 million this year.
Unbelievable. It's hard to imagine that 30 years, 4 million students, 25 lessons. It's pretty incredible.
One of those lessons, which again, I just touched on it, is so important. And no matter what your stance is on gun control, or it is a conversation that needs to be happening with families. And I don't know a better way than actually More Health coming to schools and actually opening this dialogue up. Tell us a little bit more about this lesson.
So this lesson, firearm safety, we go into the schools, elementary and middle school, and we teach students the importance of firearms and violence prevention. It's a lesson 20 years ago that we started with, and it was a lesson that was really requested by law enforcement and the ER docs because they had seen accidents happen where children picked up guns, not realizing they were real, and they unfortunately went off. So this lesson goes into the schools, and we want to make sure that students know what to do if they come across a firearm. And we don't want them to touch the firearm. We want them to make sure they get to a trusted adult.
And you've actually had success stories where these, we found out later that students saw a gun and didn't touch it, and we're actually, I mean, we could have potentially saved lives.
Oh, that's correct. So after the lesson, on occasions, not very often, thankfully, but we do hear information from students that they found a firearm at their home, in the bushes, on their way to school, in the playground, and they did the right thing. They didn't touch it. They got away from that, and they found an adult to take care of that gun.
So what is the message for families watching today? What is it that you really want to make sure that those conversations that you're having with your kids, because again, just because you don't have a gun or a weapon inside your home, it doesn't mean that they're not going to come in contact with them.
Right, I think as we were discussing, I think that you have to understand that if a child goes to a friend's house, there's going to be possible firearms in that home. So I think it's important that we educate the parents as well as the students as a whole, that if you go over to somebody's house knowing if they have firearms, and making sure that children are educated on if they do come in contact with a firearm, because ultimately a real firearm might look fake and a fake firearm might look real. So as a student, that they like to play in the video games and shooting games and things like that, they might see a gun that they think is fake and pick it up, and it might be loaded, and that's something that we need to educate the parents as well, just so that they can have those conversations before they allow their children to go to somebody's house.
And we were also talking about, it's important to know that law enforcement, especially for the younger kids, that you guys are there to help, right? And be their friends and be that trusted person that you can go to, correct?
Yes, so the way we do it, our SROs help teach the lesson, and that gives them an opportunity to interact with the students, you know, in a positive way, you know, outside of a stressful incident. You know, most of the time when kids come in contact with law enforcement, it's under, a stressful incident situation. This allows us to interact with them and to have a positive dialogue with them, and helping them get the information that they need to keep themselves, their friends, and their families safe.
Well, and again, I just think, I told you guys this before we started, it's just so great that you guys are in the school systems talking about this. We understand that teachers don't, I mean, they're trying to do the lessons and everything else. It's so important. I think this is in our school system, the conversation being had. As we close, if parents have questions, what would you have them do if they're looking for, help on this topic? It's tough.
It is a tough topic, but they can certainly call More Health. Or both the Sheriff's Office and the Police Department. We are all here to assist parents with this conversation, and for gun locks or safely securing their firearms, or if they need additional information, certainly reach out to us.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Congratulations again on 30 years and the 4 millionth students, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you so much, Carly.